My student ID is STN2181, and we are presenting our presentation on Alliance Life Insurance Data Breach today. So my teams will introduce themselves, and after that we will proceed.
Hello, I am Akiful Hassan. My student ID is ESI2109. So today we're going to discuss about Alliance Life Insurance and data breach. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Rafi. My student ID is UGS2005, and today we are going to talk about Alliance Life Insurance.
Hi, it's me Santos Bora. My student ID is EPP2032. Today we are going to discussing about Alliance Life Insurance 2025 data breach.
All right, let's begin with our discussion. So, Alliance Life Insurance Data Breach. Our group number is group 10. Let's proceed. So, if we jump on slide 2, I will make a presentation on that about the this is the introduction. So it got 5 points. So financial service leader Alliance Life Insurance manages over 1.4 trillion in asset and serves customer in North America, Europe, and Asia, as per as Alliance 2024 data. The company handles sensitive data like social security numbers, financial account information, health record, and scanned identity documents. Alliance is a prime target for the forgers, identity thefts, and ransomwares. Alliance outsource the data processing and infrastructure management like many insurance. This efficient, but uh, in case of cybersecurity risks, if vendors lack controls, the insurance require trust, and even one breach can damage public confidence and cause financial and regulatory damage. Due to this global presence, Alliance must comply with uh, GDPR, CCPA, and the SEC breach disclosure requirement according to Europe Communication 2023, and this clarified the incident service. Thank you.
For slide 3, we got importance of cybersecurity in insurance. Insurance companies need cybersecurity for business continuity, legal companies, and customer trust. If compromised, insurance companies' personal, financial, and identity data can use for fraud or extortion. Industry research shows that insurance data breach now cost over 5 million, excluding reputational damage. According to Bondar 2024, regulations are also tightening discussion regulation and increasing penalties for GDPR and state insurance companies violations. Breaches damage customer trust with up to 78% for consumers switching provider after cybersecurity. Next one, please.
In slide 4, we got incident timeline. So here we got 5 points. So we're going to discuss about that. So in incident timeline, the Alliance breach took 10 days and showed technical flaws and detections and delays. A third-party vendor's cloud infrastructures showed unusual activity on January 15, 2025. Every party vendors' cloud infrastructure showed entry alerts were low priority, showing escalation, compromised vendor credentials, and we were used to steal 1.4 million customer records by January 18. And the lack of multi-factor authentication allowed unhacked access across 2025 for nearly 72 hours network, and segmentation gaps allowed lateral movement undetected. Alliance internal response team confirmed the breach and began account suspensions. and systems isolation on January 20. The company publicly disclosed the breach and notified affected parties on January 25. The meeting the 72-hour regulatory requirement, Tom said 2025, and this compressed timeline shows the effects of poor supplier security and monitoring.
The attack vector and data compromise, which are flowing. So I want to describe about everything. The attack originated from a phishing campaign targeting a third-party cloud vendor responsible for customer data processing. And another one is social engineering tactics enabled attackers to obtain valid login credential linked to Alliance systems without triggering additional verification. And likewise, quick privilege controls and inadequate network segmentation enable attackers to navigate systems beyond their initial entry point. And last one is the exposed data include date, customer names, address, social security numbers, banking information, and scammed identified documents.
So let's talk about the immediate response and the technical failure on the slide 6 and 7. So Alliance began its incident response plan and hired management of forensic firm to determine attack pathway and scope of compromise. After confirming the breach on January 20 on 2025 to prevent unauthorized logging, vendor access was suspended, and enterprise-wide credentials or risk. Alliance notified the SEC and the insurance regulators within 72 hours per regulation. Companies notified customer and offered free credit monitoring and identity protection. This action demonstrate company compliance and accountability, but the vendor oversight and early breach and detection are lacking. Successful incident handling reduced our damage, but the reveal the definitions in protective controls and continuous monitoring, and that should have prevent the breach in 2022. So jump on the slide 7. We can see the technical failures. So Alliance cybersecurity breach was avoidable. The violation of NIST 863 M a requirement for external system authentication was vendor access with single factor credentials. The stolen logins were immediately usable. Vendors had direct database connections without segments or role-based restrictions, violating last privilege and ISO 27001. The the European Commission 2023 found uninterrupted social security numbers and identity documents violating PCI DSS and GDRP. Alliance lacked just-in-time access provision, so compromised account couldn't negatively and patching and vulnerability assessments or inconsistent, especially in the third-party environment. The failures allow attack to bypass control the accelerate easily. Thank you very much. Now we can jump into slide 8.
So I'm going to talk about and discuss about the slide number 8. So there is causes and governance failures. So let's talk about this. So in governance failures facilitated the breach beyond technical issues. Alliance cut its cybersecurity budget by 15% and affecting staffing, monitoring, and security upgrades. Despite evidence, the underinvestment increases breaches by over 40%. DTEC Systems 2025 and the lack of board level cybersecurity committee violated COBIT APO010.01's governance oversight of digital risk ISACA 2019, and vendor risk assessments were outdated, and the compromised and the cloud provider lacked SOC 2 Type 2 certification necessary for sensitive data handling. Alliance, Alliance illegally stored passport scans indefinitely, violating GDPR and ISO 27001 A.823 European Commission 2023. Governance failures indicate a culture that treated cybersecurity as an IT issue rather than a strategic priority, creating gaps attackers exploited. Gartner 2024. So I'm gonna also talk about the slide 9, and I'm moving into that. So this about the recommendation technical controls. So let's move into the topic, and I'm gonna discuss. So zero trust architecture should be implemented immediately by Alliance to remove implicit trust and protect critical systems. Instead of assuming internal network safety, this approach requires continuous user and disease verification, including third-party vendors, rose at L 2020 to prevent compromised credentials from being reused. NIST SP 863B requires multi-factor authentication to prevent compromised credentials from multi-factor authentication at all access points, Boyens at AL 2022, to protect sensitive data like social security numbers and identity documentations. AES 256 encryption and centralized key management must be used at rest and in transit. International Organization for Standardization 2022. To prevent data breaches, production systems should use tokenization instead of raw identifiers. So we'll move into the next slide number 10.
We are going to discussing about recommendation, governments, and risk management. Firstly, we are going to discuss about the companies should resist and grow in cybersecurity budget to support staff monitoring system and third-party insurance. And likewise, a board-level cybersecurity committees should be established to ensure accountability, oversight, and alignment with government frameworks. And likewise, there are lots of things. So I'm going to talking about last thing is aligning government's practice with NIST, CSF, and COBIT will strengthen enterprise accountability and support regulatory compliance.
Okay, I'm going to talk about slides 11 and 12. Its conclusion. The Alliance case shows that cybersecurity reliance goes beyond tools and technology. Preventing future includes requires and culture change, leadership accordingly. To practice governance, ISO 27001 compete and the NIST cybersecurity framework can create structure enforceable controls for technical risks and organizations beyond sports. Zero trust and data minimization can migrate central chip and inter-access. Regular third-party adults and cyber efforts would reduce supply chains which cause the breach. Cybersecurity includes change planning, provides regulation and protective a company's advance based on customer trust and operational resilience in rapidly changing the threat landscape. For reference, we use Howard reference and different sources from online. Thank you for that's all for our presentation. Thank you guys for your
Thank
help.
you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.